What's going on, YouTube? Once again, it's K-Stu to go for Vernon Speaks Sports. We're all talking about Auburn football, and in the Deep South where college football is king, the battle cry on the plains of Auburn is War Eagle. Fearless and true gang, let's go ahead and get the comment section active as we always do. I was actually going to take the rest of the night off as far as doing video, guys, but you know what I'm saying? Another story popped across for the Auburn Tigers. Now, to the casual Auburn fan, the five-star recruit, junkie, those types of people, this story is not going to really be big for them. Because if you think about it now, if it's not a five-star recruit or some high-profile type athlete coming out of high school or even on the transfer portal, nobody's really interested. And this is just not a real sexy story for the Auburn Tigers. But when I really looked at it, because I really wasn't going to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? But when I really dissected this story real quick, I kind of looked at a few highlights. I looked at his size. I looked at the kind of offense that Gus Malzahn likes to run. So when I thought about it, Gus Malzahn said during the recruiting process that they're going to leave 2 or 3 spots open for transfers, okay? All right, so I get that. Also, you got to think during the offseason, Darius Slayton and Ryan Davis, experienced receivers, are gone. Then you look at the fact that, yes, Auburn has some very talented receivers, but the receivers are not particularly large. And guess what? Auburn likes to run a run-pass option. You need some kind of sort of big wide receivers so that you can have some excellent blocking downfield, because I'm not looking at Anthony Schwartz or Will Hastings or Eli Stove as like really being dependable blocking, okay? But I'm looking at a guy like Zach Farrar, who is, 6'4", 205 pounds. He does have some great receiver ability. Also, when you think about it from what he's going to be expecting as far as production receiver-wise, he, as far as like actual yardage, didn't really produce much. He averaged about 51 yards per game, 307 yards. That goes right in line as to what Gus Malzahn, needs as far as a receiver goes. If he can get 51 yards per game for Auburn, that's actually pretty good, okay? In addition to the potential blocking ability. Also, he kind of sort of, because of his height and because of he does have a pretty good ability to catch the ball based on very, very limited film that I saw. Kind of reminds me of a poor man's Duke Williams, okay? We all remember Duke Williams from back in 2016. Very productive receiver for Auburn, currently in the NFL. He's actually getting another chance in the NFL. So, like I said before, to the casual five-star recruit junkie fan, this is not really a big deal to them because they don't understand the impact that a recruit like this will have. But if you think about what Auburn needs, Auburn has to recruit for what it needs. Gus Malzahn's run-pass option type offense does not particularly need an elite wide receiver. It needs a serviceable wide receiver that's going to fit the scheme, that's going to help the scheme out, and not going to be, questioning Gus, because like I said, this offense is very predicated on rhythm, and you just don't need somebody on the sideline talking about, hey, I want more catches and all this other stuff. It has to be a situation where it's a very teamwork oriented offense. If you got the hot hand, cool. If not, it is what it is. One game you might have 118 yards receiving. The next game you might have 20. You might even, in this kind of offense, the receiver might have 60 yards rushing. So the receivers, everybody involved, all the skill players involved have to understand once the rhythm gets going, the chips fall as they may. And I think recruiting a guy like this, especially out of Youngstown State, definitely will be looking for, some action in the SEC. He's a former Oklahoma committal. And, to have a chance to play in for a Power 5 team with the potential perhaps to compete for, maybe a SEC West title, SEC championship. All of these things, like it or not, are actually formidable at Auburn, especially considering everything that is coming back, all the experiences that is coming back. Because when you think about Auburn, when they have a wealth of talent returning, that's when great things happen. You talk about 2010, well over 10 guys returning from the previous year, starters. Also, even back in 2004, had double-digit starters returning. This year, have double-digit starters returning. 2017, have double-digit starters returning. So this could be a very good pick for Auburn. If you think about it, earlier this month or last month, Auburn was trying to recruit Velus Jones out of USC. Maybe that's falling through. Maybe that's still in the works. Who knows? But as of now, you have to go with the devil you know. And right now, that is Zach Farrar out of Youngstown State. I want you guys to really pay attention to this, because although this is not a blockbuster recruit, this could prove to be one of the more effective offseason moves for the Auburn Tigers. Once again, it's Case 2 to go for Vernon Speaks Sports. We're talking Auburn football like nobody else's business. Go ahead and comment on this particular video. Also, I got to have that subscription, baby. Go ahead and click the subscription button, click the notification button, because we're talking about Auburn football a lot, okay? Until next time, guys, it's Case 2 to GOAT, Vernon Speaks Sports, Auburn, War Eagle.